Yeah, so previously we did the dash, didn't we? Since received steering column, which that isn't in properly, I've just placed it in there. I scaled off all the photos and everything we've got to where the trafficators go. Indicator.
Is that a manual thing or is it?
No, it's all electric.
Oh, okay.
So they just pop out. They don't flash, they just pop out.
Yeah.
So they're in the correct place. Received the other bits for the screens ports. So whereas we thought it had one in the middle, it didn't. It had two. So all that's done. Right, tidied up all of these corners. There, put the door riser plate in, tidied the back corner, and where all that was scrunched to death, and put a plate in there, repaired that, left it tatty as he wants it. So basically I've got to do the two bottom corners and the plate on that side, but received the hooks, so I put hooks on the back, riveted them in, tidied all these corners up because all that was missing. Made sure the boot lid shuts nice and square. Welded on another captive nut in there to hold that properly because that was missing. So I'm just going to repair these little corner pieces because it should flap over, and then that's spot welded there, yeah? So we've got to put him in there, tidy all that up, get it spot welded in. To do that both sides, and then probably take it off the chassis and flip it over again then, and then just finish the two splices there. I've got to cut that piece out of that corner. For the main body, that's getting pretty much done, you know. Needs a lot of tidying up again with the welds and stuff, but generally we're getting there.
So what's next after all that?
Well, if the customer decides he wants us to paint it, because he's not worried about any filler work or anything like that, get it down to the painters, get the tub painted, the chassis painted because it's the wrong colour as well, and I can be then doing any repairs, making all this properly because they should be bolted on through spacers. So I've got to make the spacers, bolt that on, tidy up the rest of the doors, put the riveted bits I need to put on them back on them. Hopefully by then I would have some of this back and I can start running the wiring. Oh, I've done all the pedal box as well, put all of that in and worked out where all that goes properly. Put holes in the floor that need, obviously I've got to weld in captive nuts there and there to hold the bottom of the Mauser gun rack. Yeah, so it all sort of depends how far we go, whether he wants it painted by us or not.
Yeah.
So we've got to put that bit in there, like so. So I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. So that sits in there. Now that doesn't quite fit there, so I'll grind a little bit off of that, a little bit off of that end, and we should be about there. There we go. Now, because that bit there holds that pivot is reinforced behind, so I can now bash all this, bend it all, do what I like with it, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Trouble with a lot of this is the metal's so thin what's left, you know. Blowing holes. Right, you've got something like that where you're trying to fill, yeah, and it's quite dodgy old piece of metal,
Yeah.
you get something that's I can't think of the word, conductive.
Okay.
So you can weld, put that behind it, it gives you a nice place to weld to, but it won't stick to that.
Okay. So the metal's got to be non-conductive in order to weld to.
Well, it just gives you a flat base to weld to, but it won't stick to that piece of metal behind it.
Yeah. So that begs the question then, how would you weld non-conductive metal?
Well, that's brass, so that's either you solder it together.
Yeah.
You can TIG weld brass with brass rods,
Okay.
or you use oxyacetylene.
So it depends on the metal that you're
Yeah.
using in your welder.
Yeah, what form of weld you're using,
Okay.
yeah. But it just stops, it will never stop you blowing holes in it because it's so thin, but it gives you, you can chase the hole, if that makes sense.
Right.
Right, a bit of grinding. So you're never ever going to get that, because it's so bent and warped and twisted, where it's been smashed before. There's not a lot you can do. You just got to go with the flow.
A quick question for you.
Yep.
You keep chopping and changing which grinding.
Yeah.
Why do you have these three, and why are you selecting between these three?
That one will get your main chunks off. That's on 36 grit.
Yeah.
That's a lot coarser, so you whack your worst bits off with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That, as you look at that and the angle of that, you're trying to get that sort of semi-flat because of what it is, where it is.
Yeah.
You'll never do it without. You'll either burn a hole straight through that or straight through that.
Okay.
So then you go to your belt sanders.
You got two belt sanders.
Big one and a small one. That's all it is.
I mean, you're using the big one to get the worst off, and then the smaller one to get the
Yeah, that
refinement?
one. Look, I can't get into there
Okay.
unless I go upside down with it, which is, if they catch, it throws them everywhere. That one is very close to that edge, so I can get in closer. And I like to get in there for that weld there. I'll be able to get that in there. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all it is. Oh, please. See, if I was doing that on a real clean car, you want to make a good job of it, you know, proper job of it, yeah? It's kind of irrelevant on this because of the state of the rest of the bodywork, yeah? You'd tack it, grind a couple of tacks, hammer it, make sure it's flat, and just take it really easy with it, and then you won't warp anything. But again, on this, it's not the objective, you know, it is what it is. So that will be for all that up. And I found some pictures of an original 1941.
Yeah.
Really close up, and that is the way that looks over there. So could have just butt welded it straight along, you know. So by the time your wing's on there, so all of that's got to be spliced in, but that'll be okay. I've got to look at this. I'm not sure what's happening here. I think that panel possibly goes like that. I might have to re-angle that. So obviously when that's all cut in, that's wrapped over. That's all you can do, really. metal. Putting genuine parts back in. That's the bit I cut out the front panel.
Ah, there you go.
Best pair of snips I've ever owned.
Yeah, you
In fact, probably one of the only pairs of snips I've ever owned.
Where did you get them from then?
I think they came from Riverside Autos when I worked there. I can't remember.
Well, you are finished them.
No. Probably borrowed and forgot to take back. I should have seen me in here yesterday. Fucking tripping over.
Really?
This is clean compared to what I was like yesterday. Right. Throw that on the floor then. Okay. Give her a little squirt. Alright.
Job done.
Job.